Are you tired of not having to finish books you've started to read? You have books lying everywhere at your bedside, on your reading table, on your bookshelf, and you are asking, why can't I finish a book? Or maybe you don't even want to start reading a book. You should watch my video on how to develop a reading culture. Or maybe you're getting easily distracted while reading a book, like your school textbook, a novel, or even a motivational book. And you want tips that can help you concentrate more and improve your focus while reading. This video is divided into 3 segments. The first segment is to tell you why you do not finish a book you start to read, why you fear to start reading a book, and what causes you to be distracted while reading. The second segment shows you how to eliminate distractions while reading. And the third segment is how to focus, understand, and actually finish reading a book. So what could be the reason why you do not finish reading the books you started to read? It could be your mindset. Maybe you saw an advert of a book, a bestseller, and it's trending, and you just jump in, you buy a book and you start to read, and then you find out that you do not really need this book. I mean, which doctor needs a marketing book? It could also be that you easily get distracted while reading a book, like your phone just rings and 30 minutes later you are shopping with your friends, or you have scrolled 300 reels on Instagram. It could also mean that you really do not like reading alone, and you don't see any reason why you should finish a book. I mean, are you going to be paid for reading and finishing a book? It could also be that you did not plan properly, like you have a book to read for exams, but you cannot finish the textbooks and you do not know how to go about it. The vibe is not there to just finish a book. Now, for those who fear to start reading a book and you're wondering why, here are possible answers to your worries. Number 1, it may be that you find difficulty in concentrating. 2 is that the thought of even finishing a book would make you not to even start to read it. And then, when the book is voluminous, you are afraid of starting to read and not finishing it. Then what causes one to be distracted while reading a book? It could be that the book is boring and some other thing caught your attention and you got distracted. Or some words in the book caught your attention and you ended up researching about it and spending all your time researching about that word or name or event without coming back to the book you had started reading. Or simply judging a book by its cover. You saw a book and you thought it had what you wanted and you started reading and you ended up finding out that what you wanted in the book is not what you're seeing as you want. So how do you eliminate distractions while reading? We know the book is boring, but what if it's your school textbook? What would you do? And you must finish reading that book. Number 1, turn off every electronic device that you know will distract you. Your TV, your smartphones, please turn them off to eliminate distractions while reading. You can even put your phone on airplane mode. Number 2, stay in a quiet place so that you will be able to concentrate better and avoid distractions. If you're someone who gets easily distracted by a new word, maybe a new event like World War II, maybe a new name like, let's say, Warren Buffett or Elon Musk or Barack Obama, and you don't know who Barack Obama is and you get easily distracted in your research trying to find out who that person is, what you can do is to get a notepad where you write down those new words, events, and names, and then after you're done reading, you can now later take those new findings and make research on them. This way you don't get distracted while reading that book. I've also realized that except it's a religious book where your convictions are so strong, if it's a motivational book and it's not related to your field or what you want, you can still finish the book. You can decide that I will set out a target to get like 20 lessons from this book. It may not necessarily be for you, but you may use it in the course of teaching someone else, or you may use the knowledge there. So you can still use your notepad to write down the lessons while you read that book. So how can you focus on reading, understanding, and finishing that book? Like what I said previously, you can start by setting the targets to get lessons from the book you are reading. You can also decide why you want to read the book. You state out your objective. Is it to learn a vocabulary, learn a particular thing, learn how to communicate, whatever the objective is? Stating it will help you to focus more, concentrate more, and finishing that book. And when you say distraction, you easily avoid it. Another is setting an alarm to know when you should stop reading. Everybody loves breaks. So you can set an alarm to stop reading a book. That way you know that you're dedicating a set time to focus more on reading. Some people advise that you exercise before you start to read. If you're someone who loves to work out but you find it difficult to concentrate while reading, you can decide that just after your exercise in the morning, you sit up and you read a book. That way it could help you to concentrate better. Number 4, set small targets for reading. I've created a short guide to help you write your reading goals. What areas to focus on, what kinds of books to read, how to set deadlines, and apportion the duration for reading. All in this guide, and it is free. You can download it and use it for your reading goals. You may be saying that it's not all about reading and finishing a book. How can you understand it? Just imagine that you are going to share with someone what you have just finished reading in this book. That way it will help you to take down notes while reading. Also, almost all books have table of contents. That way you know how many chapters to read in a book. You also know the contents in the book, and that way you know whether you need to read that book. So you don't even need to start reading that book because you may not need it. The contents tell you everything that is in the book. Finally, plan to reward yourself after reading a book. You can decide that after reading 10 pages of a book and with 3 lessons, you can decide to give yourself a cup of ice cream, chocolate, or whatever it is you consider as a reward for reading your book. So if you're wondering how to engage Dearoneworld on social media, you can check us up on Instagram and on Facebook. All the links are in the description below.